You can count on it. You can count on it. You can count on me. You can count on me too. You can count on it. You can.
So, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Oh my God. Welcome
Welcome.
to the Three Oak Podcast where even the artists can be fans. AJ the Menace.
Shane M. Petty.
And Cherry TNT, she's not here. It was grandmama's birthday, so you already know how that goes.
Yeah, and happy birthday.
You know, happy birthday to grandmama. Mama Cherry, I guess.
Yeah, my grandma, Granny Cherry.
Granny Cherry, yeah. The OG Terry, the dynamite, not the TNT.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I don't know what they would be like. The nuke.
the old nuke.
Grandma nuke, yeah.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, me and Shane gonna hold it down this week. Mm-hmm. Thank y'all for sticking with us last week, because obviously you saw that the last week's episode dropped late. Yeah. We appreciate that. Sorry, me and Shane are off the Jamie and Ginger.
Yeah, our friend Courtney put a lot of stuff in this. Because remember, I had to ask you. I was just like, wait a minute, am I tired or is there?
I was like, no, it's strong. It's
okay.
strong. I'm about to refill mine, actually.
Yeah, because I didn't get enough sleep last night, so I just had to make sure what I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good, though.
This past week, outside of police brutality, because just in case your timeline has changed, right. It's still alive and popping out here. Okay, let's not ever get it forget.
Black people are still getting killed.
Black people are still getting beat up by the police.
It's trending.
It's trending. It's popular right now to beat up the police or get beat up by the police.
You know, every time this happens, it's so bad. But every time this happens, I always say, like, it's that time of year already.
Yeah, it's almost like a holiday season. Down there.
I'm just like, because that's just the way it's feeling. It's just like, okay, in 2021, what month is going to be the time when it's just like,
we just beating
hey,
niggas up.
You know, it's like Shark.
Or we care about it for a month or something.
It's like Shark Week or something. You know, I never understood Shark Week, but I hear a lot about Shark Week.
Hold on. Are we talking about Shark Week on TV or like the Discovery
on TV.
Channel?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
There's 2 Shark Weeks that I know about.
Do you watch Shark Week whenever it happens? Or
I don't. There's 2 Shark Weeks that I know about.
Okay.
Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, where it's like documentaries and shit on Shark Week.
Yeah.
And then when a girl's on her period, that's Shark Week too.
That's what they call Shark Week? Oh, shit. I did not know.
It was this chick I used to work with. Shout out to Karen. Back in high school, at my high school job, that's what she would call it, Shark Week.
Damn,
she was like, bro, I ain't with it today. It's Shark Week. I'm like, what? Yeah, that shit is crazy. So yeah, those are the 2 Shark
this week.
Yeah, those are the 2 Shark Weeks that I know about.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a TV program that comes on for a month a year. Yeah. But this time it feels like we'll at least be able to keep this. The week will be weeks. It'll probably be leading up until elections, November. And
I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but there's a lot of people who do say like this type of stuff always happens election year.
But I voted pretty regularly since I've turned 18, but I haven't noticed
me either
politics enough to the point to be like something crazy
it's voting year and you know, oh wait a minute, people are getting shot. Like I haven't like
crazy shit's gonna happen this year. I don't know, bro. I've kind of missed that. I've never noticed that trend. So
if it's true, I mean,
if it's even true, but I mean, I have heard that a lot though.
Yeah,
people like it's an election year. Don't you think this is all timely? And I'm
like from the liberals or something like that.
I'm like nigga, I don't know, bro. Like I just know that when the time comes, I vote when they say I'm supposed to vote. But that kind of leads me into my next point, actually. Yeah. So what we're going to be doing, or what I'm going to be doing from now on for the rest of this year, and hopefully for the rest of my career, actually, as a entertainer or a personality, whatever the fuck you want to call me.
What the fuck I am.
So I dropped the second one, Bouncer Brutality. Mm-hmm. That one did well. Nothing. It didn't do as good as the first one did, but that's completely fine. Mind you, there's several emotions that go through. Now, the first one, I was hoping just to get 2,000 views from the first one, and when I hit like 1,000, I was like, yeah, that shit blew up to 33,000 views.
It's always great when you set your expectations at a certain level, a realistic level.
Exactly, realistic. But I hated that happened too, because now I'm hoping when the second video only gets 2,000 plays. It feels initially like a failure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Psychologically,
because now it's like, damn, I got to beat 33,000 now, or I got to beat 15,000 now. Like, so that
the higher the number goes, is like you feel like you have to beat that last number.
Yeah, you have to beat that
last
number.
How movies work, really.
And if it feels like if you didn't beat that number, it feels like you lost, and it feels like you wasted your time and I don't know, man. You go through those emotions, you feel like you lost.
Yeah.
Like
it's not true, man. It's not true.
And it's not true. And it's not true because the way the videos are put together, it's information-based videos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's information that'll never expire either.
Yeah.
Well, it could slightly expire just based on laws and legislation, but majority of the time, like, we're talking about stuff that has always been around and it's probably not going to change anytime soon. But so awareness is always good.
Yeah.
But even with all this stuff that's going on, like the George Floyd and police brutality and how it's at the forefront, like I've been feeling this like sense of like, what is my purpose in all of this? What am I supposed to do? And remember that time on the podcast, I even talked about I want to double down on my voice. Like, you know, like we do this every week. We do the music. Like I need to make sure that I'm incorporating a certain level of it, like a responsible level enough of it to where I'm not changing my sound or movement completely. I mean, I'm the type of person anywhere where I want to help you if I can help you anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, not so much where it's like all of a sudden, like, I'm this conscious rapper and every podcast is turned into the social justice movement. Like, I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? Just because that's not life. It's a life all the time, but I like the balance.
Yeah. Balance is important. And then remember, like, you know, kudos to those who actually make it like a...
Exactly.
It's
that's
part
their
of
purpose.
their
entire...
I don't want to say brand, but you know, but it's a part of who they are.
Exactly,
and what they're about and all that stuff.
Exactly.
You know? And, you know, shout out to them.
The real activists, pretty much.
Yeah, they actually take out to the streets all the time and all that
that's
stuff.
All they do.
That's
all
what they're
day.
really about. So,
yep. So, like, we need those people, and I know I'm not going to be one of those people.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to make sure that I was doing my just due.
Yeah.
So, what I've kind of figured out over the past week, mind you, I've been listening to a lot of Farrakhan this week.
Oh, really? Yeah.
A lot of Farrakhan, bro. Yeah. And I'm on that.
Last time I came here, you were watching a whole video that I was very... I think I even asked you, I was like, why don't we have some kind of like town hall like type of conversation? Because I feel like today, out of any time... I mean, well, even back then you needed it too, but today, out of like, come on,
bro,
man,
he was literally the black leader, bro. He is the black leader of... It's so crazy because, and this is the thing that like, all right, so I've always heard Jews and white, well, we know white people have people representing them because they're represented throughout the entire political system and every system. All three branches, all three branches in America. That's just for white people.
If you're white, it's all right.
Spanish and black people, though, we don't really have that type of leader or representation. They say the Jews do. And mind you, I don't know who the Jewish person is that represents all Jew values, and it's like, this is what the Jewish community wants this year from our elected candidates. I don't know who that is, but I've heard they've had one, and it doesn't surprise me at all. Black people have never had that. Like, the people that we have had that is like the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings. You know what I mean? Like, but those people don't come around that often.
Yeah.
Like the ones that has everybody in America looking like, whether they hate what he's saying or listening. Yeah. Like the ones that can gather millions of people like that.
What's funny though is I feel like in the past couple of years, people like that did show up, but they showed up in music. You know, I feel like, you know, if you look at Nipsey, you know, I really do feel like he was like the music manifestation
of that.
Malcolm.
That's a whole fact.
Yeah, you know,
knowledge itself.
Yeah, he wasn't a street activist or anything. Like he came,
but it was definitely in his music, and we could even say a little bit of that
in
about
his business.
Kendrick too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and definitely in his business too.
Yeah.
Definitely in his business, because that was Minister Farrakhan. He's looking at that side of things a lot of the times too. So it's. We keep asking and peacefully protesting for these things to change, but we need to do work on both fronts. We need to protest for America to actually do what they say America is, a land of the free and all that shit. But at the same time, we need to educate ourselves and have knowledge of ourselves and do it for ourselves, because they probably won't respect us until we attempt or start doing it for ourselves anyway.
But remember, like if you go back to the Black Wall Street days, we did.
We did do it for ourselves.
But then they didn't like that, so then they burned it all to the ground.
Exactly.
So would they do the same thing again if we tried again, or would they just be like, "Hey, my bad"?
Exactly though, but that is a real thing. Like there's been moments in history, more than one moment in history, where black people have like we're just gonna separate ourselves and do everything ourselves.
Had our own economy and
have our own economy.
We wearing business suits. We look bad, man. Business suits with the fedoras and shit. Like we had our own
thing going on. Yes.
Where's that movie, by the way, Hollywood?
Yeah,
I think we said this before.
We did. You want to sell out in the box office? Give me that Black Wall Street movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the liquor real quick.
Yeah, but if you want like Black Panther money, if you want to make that type of money at the box office, just make a fucking Black Wall Street movie. You know, as a matter of fact, if you want to, you could just get Chadwick Boseman. He could be the lead. You know, he'd be the lead, and get what's her name from. Get all the actors from Black Panther and just make a Black Wall Street movie.
Get all the actors from Black Panther except Black Wall Street. Jordan. We good on him. We good on his trash ass actor.
Yeah, you get him. You could get what's her name from Creed, actually. I like that actress.
The love interest in Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what her name is, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. She's
I know
great.
her name is, so I'm ashamed of myself. but yeah, so yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't even had a movie to. Sure. Yeah. Let me go. Yeah, pour some. Get me
a bit of that.
Yeah. Get me a little woozy.
Woozy.
Yeah. Little Uzi Vert. Yeah. I mean, come on. It's been a while since we've,
Since we drank on the podcast.
Yeah. Because I'm not a regular drinker or anything. So it's just like,
so.
It's always like celebratory. And in a way, I mean, it's like celebratory. We've had little victories here or there.
We've had great.
Yeah.
We've had like a great little month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, this is
Why
definitely
not?
Fuck it, man. Yeah. To the 3 O'Clock podcast.
Yes, man. Strong since 2017, and only now y'all are catching up.
Exactly. Y'all are just now getting going strong. No viewers.
Yeah.
1 whole year.
Yeah.
But I said that to say, with all this going on, bruh, it's been really like bringing me down, like depressing level of like, what should I do to contribute to my change? I can say I'm gonna double down on my voice, but what the fuck does that mean? That first video that I put out about velvet rope racism, that opened my eyes to the most compliment that I got from it, outside of people sharing their stories, was they enjoyed the information part of it. Just the raw facts.
It was new to me.
Exactly, yeah. Just the raw facts and things of that nature. So I think at this point, it's time that I lean into that part, the teaching part. So I think for the rest of this year, those type of videos that we're going to do is going to come out bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks, we'll get a video like that. And mind you, like I said this before, I don't really give a fuck about the downtown scene. I don't go there. Nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? It was just topic. That's just where life was going at that time. And I was like, damn, this would be cool to make a video about. But I'm more concerned with bettering the Black community and giving them that self-knowledge of things that people in privileged positions, no matter what race they are, but people in more privileged positions, information that they know, like why do you need a budget? Why do you need a budget, and why is it important? How does government work? Why does voting matter?
Yeah.
How does voting work? Why is credit important?
Yeah, and how to properly use credit cards.
How to use credit cards. How to use credit. How to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
What to do when you're getting pulled over as a minority. You know what I mean? Knowledge like that when it comes to economic knowledge and life knowledge that a lot of Black people just aren't learning from their parents, because no fault to them. They were never taught that from their parents or their school system that they were in.
Yeah, they definitely do not teach you all this shit in school
they
when
don't
it's
teach
so vital to life.
It's vital to life. Fuck a chemistry class. Like, do you know
long division? Like,
do you know how to balance a checkbook? You know what I'm saying?
That's important.
That's important. Do you know how to set a budget for yourself every
Difference
month?
between a debit card and a credit card, and
exactly.
how to use both, and like
really,
all of that shit I learned from. Shout out to Mom, but I learned it from her.
Same with me. I was in a privileged position where a lot of that stuff I know. To be fair, there's still a lot of stuff that I don't know. Or there's still a lot of stuff that
you're learning.
We might have learned, but we forgot. Like basic, like raw facts about like world history and stuff that we learned in class. Like we just forgot because
you mean in school? Okay, yeah.
School system.
Yeah.
Was that a knock?
No, I think that was my show.
Okay. But yeah, stuff like that. I plan on every 2 weeks releasing a video giving out knowledge on topics of that nature.
Good.
And for the rest of this year, I I'm going to always relate it back to Raleigh-Durham based and triangle based topics. So if I have a video that comes out, which is going to come out, why is voting important, or and how the government works? This is how your vote affects the government or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to explain the voting process, how your votes. I'm going to tell you what voter suppression is as well, so that you know when you do go out there, you may encounter some voter suppression that you have to fight through just to get your ballot casted. But how important it is and why it's important and what it actually will affect. I don't want people that listen to me, and even myself, I no longer want to be like, I've heard so many times, local government is so important. I don't know who the fuck is running. Like, let's be real. I don't know.
Because remember, like we said, like it's not televised. It's not like
who's running for president. You know what I mean? Like
as much as that is.
When you want to find out who you're supposed to vote for, you have to do the research local wise.
It's like, where do I start?
Where do you start? Yeah. And I plan on doing that research for people. So first I'm going to tell you in the first half of the video why voting is important and how it can affect you locally. And then I'm going to tell you what's going on in Raleigh. And this is why we need to vote on this time in October or whatever. So I plan on doing videos like that for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
City-based things. How to get a loan or how to own a house, how to repair your credit, stuff that black people I feel like should know. And unfortunately, not all of us were in a position to where we are allowed to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
Or we're even around people who had the knowledge of learning it. And that's what I think is going to be my contribution to Black America.
Yeah. It's a great contribution. Look, as cheesy as it's as the slogan is, but it's completely true.
Exactly.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
And that's why they, for the longest time, they didn't let us read a book.
It was punishable by death.
Yeah, punishable by death. But that's because they knew that knowledge is power. If we had knowledge, then we would know how to be self-sufficient.
Change the situation.
And know that the situation that we're in is bullshit.
Isn't the one that you're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my contribution pretty much. And I feel like once I made that decision a couple of days ago, it's starting to make me feel better. I'm still a little low, but it's like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And I'm like really excited to like start that journey. And I'm trying to figure out on where to start. I kind of want to start with credit. Maybe then I'll transition into what are stocks. I want to kind of save the voting. I'm definitely going to go at the voting stuff, but one, I need to make sure I take my time and research all the candidates that'll be running this year for the local election when it comes to city hall and city government. But I also need to do my research, which is going to take a little bit of time. But I also want to have those videos dropping closer to when election time is. So as you're getting that information, it's not that much you have to think about leading up to the, you know what I mean? So like in those videos that I drop, I'll be able to add the date on when you need to be ready to vote as well too, Yeah. So that's kind of where my mind's been at.
Yeah.
All this
Remember, there are
week.
different ways to protest and contribute to, what's going on right now. Like you can have the street movements, in street protesting. You can have all that. You can, give money to certain organizations. You can give support Black businesses and all that stuff, and then you can also spread awareness. You can spread information.
And I think that's going to be the most powerful and that's going to be the most powerful.
Yeah,
that's going to be the most powerful thing that we could possibly do is spreading awareness. Or I feel like that I'll be able to do.
Yeah, and information.
Spreading awareness and information on certain topics. You know what I mean? Just what do you do when this happens? I'll look it up and I'll find out. So if you guys, people listening, as you kind of see what I'm trying to go for, you know exactly what I'm going for now. If you have things that you would like to see videos made out of, please make sure you leave it in the comments anywhere. Or you can DM the 3 Oak Podcast page, leave it on any of the comments on the 3 Oak Podcast page. We got our email in there, SoundCloud, anywhere. Just, if you have a topic. And I feel like that's going to start coming up as I start dropping them too, because I feel like every time I drop the last 2 bouncer brutality ones and whatever, people have been like, do a video on this next. You know what I mean? So that'll come with time. But if you're listening to this episode and you already started thinking of things off the top of your head, make sure you reach out to us so that I can add it to the list if it's a good topic. And we can go ahead. And I'm trying to make them no more than 5 minutes, 6 at the most. Yeah. But I'm going for like 5 to 6 minutes.
Nice.
So that's the plan for the rest of this year. Outside of still dropping dope music, and then I guess that'll perfect segue into the next part. Shout out to Choice FM. Thank you so much, Choice FM, the general manager over there. He hit me up on Instagram and said he liked the song. YSYLM by AJ the Menace, which is my song. You Said That You Love Me. I used to put it at the beginning of these episodes, just to promote it. It was on the last couple episodes, but yeah, they've been spinning it from what it seems like for so far like a consistent week, yo. And it's just so crazy because like, yo, the best connections have come off of Twitter for me.
Really?
The best connections have come off of Twitter, bro. Twitter just seems it's so real, bro. Like, bro, we've gotten some of our best interviews off of Twitter. Lady London, Twitter.
Lady
London was literally
I wasn't there for that. Yeah.
Oh, you weren't? No, you
No,
weren't.
I weren't. Yeah,
but
I missed her.
that one came off of Twitter.
But yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's like I've met some dope ass people on Twitter. Like hit me up, said that he liked the song and he wanted to spin it. I sent him the clean version, and like within a week, I've had 3 people so far recording in their car. Like, yo, your song's on the radio.
Song is playing.
Yeah, like, and it's so crazy to me, yo. Like, I don't even know how to feel. Like, a couple people have called me and they've been more hyped than me. I just can't believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I be downplaying myself too. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, man, it's like it's cool, but how long is this gonna last? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you thinking like that?
Yeah, like I'm always thinking like, I mean, that's cool, but man, I appreciate y'all so much, y'all. I'm gonna drop a little care package off. I'm gonna drop some merch, some T-shirts off for y'all, because I definitely want to make sure that y'all, you know, I show y'all my appreciation. But I mean, we can kind of jump into the topics that have been going on this week, though. Yeah. Honestly, ain't too much shit that's been going on this week, like we just started off saying. Yeah. Except people getting canceled.
Yeah. Besides that, I was thinking about music. I was like, not much music.
The only music that I seen in here, August Alsina dropped a new album on the 27th, which I think was Friday. Okay. And I can't remember who else was on there. There was another feature on there that was like everybody was talking about. But I mean, I liked August Alsina music, but I didn't go run to listen to that shit. Oh, I saw it, but just didn't think about it, you know. I was impressed to go run and listen to it. His career's been kind of crazy, though.
Oh, really? Has it? Yeah, I don't follow his stuff.
He had terrible health issues at one point, I remember.
What kind?
The nigga was going blind one time.
What?
Yes, bro. Like, yeah. He was like going blind, bro. Like, he popped off. Yeah. I don't know what the record was, but, you know, we know who August Alsina is. He's hot. And then he started having these health problems where, like, bro was literally, like, going blind. I don't know what the disease was. I can't remember what the disease was, but he was going blind, though. I definitely remember that part. And he was, like, in the hospital crazy, like.
See, you know in my ass, I got to research now. Yeah. just to scare myself.
Yeah, and then, you know, Will and Jada apparently have an open marriage. Like, him and Jada.
Oh, yeah, that was him. Yeah, damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then it was quiet after that.
Yeah.
Last thing I remember was I heard Will Smith pressed him, I guess over something disrespectful. Maybe he broke the rules of engagement when it comes to the open marriage. I don't know. But they say Will Smith pressed them, which isn't surprising, and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is literally the next time that I've heard about August Alsina. Yeah. So I'm assuming the music.
Will took care of him.
Yeah, Will put him on chill for a little bit. I don't know what happened, but I mean, hey, August Alsina dropped some music. So if y'all remember August Alsina,
let us know if it's good.
Let us know if it's good, because I didn't listen to it yet. I'll probably listen. I'll probably go through. See, if I don't listen to you like that, I'm just gonna go through and see what songs are starred.
Starred, yeah.
Yeah, like on the thing, like the most played song. I'm gonna check those out, and outside of that, like. I'm not listening to the whole album, like, unless those star joints are so fire. I'm like, oh, fuck that. I'm gonna run this whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen too often. So But yeah, I mean, I guess people were just getting canceled. Like, who's the list of people getting canceled?
Man, all this, like, for the past 2 weeks, it's been like, I think it started with Howard Stern. He did blackface, like, footage from back in the day, I would say, like maybe the 90s. Oh, they're bringing up, okay. Oh, yeah, all of the ones that are getting canceled is from stuff they did like in the early 2000s, in the 90s and stuff like that. So with really Howard Stern.
They really don't be trying to put dates on cancel, bro.
Yeah, look, from the day you said your first words, if you said something inappropriate.
You were on the chopping block to get canceled.
And you had the internet back then. That's why I always like, oh, thank God I didn't have the internet like when I was like fucking 15 or some shit. Yeah. Who knows what the fuck I was saying back then? I have no idea because I've grown since then.
Bro, I remember I've had a couple of wild tweets when I first started Twitter. Yeah. Just because I didn't feel like anybody was listening to them. And I remember this was during like Drake's soft period. Yeah. I'm sure there's one or two like fuck Drakes on there. And I don't feel that way about Drake at all. Yeah. But I'm sure when I was like young and dumb, 17 on Twitter,
impressionable because that was the kind of the thing, like downing on him and stuff like that.
You know what I mean? Like I probably threw a fuck Drake out there once or twice.
He's kind of easy to kind of just be like, yeah, fuck Drake.
Yeah, it'll never come back. But it's like, boy, don't get popping, yo.
Yeah.
Them tweets from back when you was 17 are coming back, yo.
Man, see, because look, like I said, like I don't even think like I didn't even get social media until I was like 20, like 21 or something like that. And even back then, you still could
still wasn't crazy because all we had was Facebook or MySpace. I guess
because 2021, we're talking like 2004, 2005. Yeah,
so
or 2005, 2006.
Point, right?
Yeah, it was like MySpace, but and transitioning into Facebook. Because when I remember when I got on MySpace, it was only like a year that it was. Like, it was probably maybe popping for 2 years, but by the time I got there, it was only a year until Facebook came out and everybody started getting on Facebook.
Yeah. So I only once Facebook took over, bro.
It took over.
People just...
All my friends just got on Facebook.
People abandoned MySpace like it was never there.
Yeah, your top 4 and top 8.
Top 8, top 6.
Yeah, your favorite song that week.
Play it as soon as it gets to your profile.
Yeah, I did see I think a meme that said something, like how it had, what's his name, Tom? That was like that.
Oh, yeah.
It said something like, hey, at least I don't sell your personal information to third parties.
Damn.
I was like, damn, that's a Facebook.
MySpace was still surviving. I think it still is surviving
I think it's
off
still
the
alive.
music.
Oh, yeah, because
apparently the music. Apparently the music platform on there is pretty popular.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, from what I heard as like an independent artist, like it's a good spot to put music at because people will actually go. I haven't been on Facebook. I haven't been on MySpace in so long. I don't even know what it looks
may
like.
have visited my profile maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Just to see what it looks
like.
Just
to see, but you forget your passwords and all that shit, so I couldn't really get in. But I did remember seeing like old pictures, and I may have had my top whatever there. Yeah. But they're all blank because they're off. Yeah. But yeah, going back to the controversies of like people getting canceled.
Oh yeah, people getting canceled.
It's not even about like Twitter and all that stuff. It's basically these 3 in particular were blackface related. So you had Howard Stern, he did blackface, and he said nigga too.
Which he said he would say that back in the day.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And you could start this movement if you want, Twitter, but context still matters. Mm-hmm. Because on the surface, it's all like, oh shit, this is a white person with black makeup on their face and all that stuff, But with the Howard Stern one, he was doing a spoof and a satire of another white guy who did blackface, another black actor, and it was
this
Ted
wasn't
Danson.
His original content.
Yeah,
it was a parody.
It was a parody of Ted Danson. This is the actor named Ted Danson, and he was dating Whoopi Goldberg in the 90s.
Gotcha.
Very tall white actor, and supposedly, I think I vaguely remember this, but like on a live show, he did blackface with Whoopi Goldberg next to him. Yeah. And I don't know if they were doing some kind of joke, but then Howard Stern supposedly did a spoof of that, and it was an exaggerated version. So he had like a box of chicken and all that stuff. I guess he was trying to say like, I guess that other guy is trying so hard to be black or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think he went a little too far with saying like nigga, because the dude from
in the
Good
90s,
Times,
bro, they were white comedians were saying nigga.
They were pushing, they're pushing the boundaries.
Like if it was part of their joke, they'd be on stage like, yeah, but it's crazy because I can't say nigga.
And Louis C.K. did that.
yeah, bro. Yeah, a couple of them did it.
Yeah, and yeah. So what's his name? Is it Good Times? The lead. Damn, my black card is being taken away as it's
talking about George Jefferson.
Yeah, light skin.
Yeah, the
short.
dude played that. Yeah.
Yeah, Jefferson.
Yeah. I think that was his character name. I don't think that was his real name. It might have been his real name, honestly.
But the actor, like he was playing Whoopi Goldberg in the sketch with Howard Stern.
Oh, so he was in the sketch too. So
there was a black guy in there. So you think that okay, well he must have signed on this because he says the way he used nigga is just like, oh well that's going too far, honey. It's like, well you're a nigga, it was something like that, and you hear the audience laughing and all that shit. I'm not excusing it, but the lines really, when it comes to comedy, the lines do really blur because then let's go to the 2 Jimmys now,
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
He did I think it was like Good Morning America. He did an impression of Chris Rock, but he dressed up like Chris Rock. He did the brown skin and the hair and all that stuff. And he did his good impression because he's good at impressions.
Yeah.
And everybody was trying to cancel him on that. But remember, I told you it's like those middle things where it's like, I don't know. Have we lost our concept of what blackface is? Because blackface, what it is a minstrel show type of thing. The black makeup with the red lips, the gloves.
It's supposed to severely reinforce the negative stereotypes of black people.
It's supposed to humiliate and dehumanize black people. That's the intent.
Yeah.
When it's blackface, that's the intent.
When it's genuine blackface.
Yeah. Somebody going to a party or something like that dressed as a black person and he's clearly mocking black people. A college party or something like that. Yes, that is blackface. But then you have somebody like Jimmy Fallon who's
a more artistic version of blackface, I guess, right?
No, he's...
Maybe?
See, to me, blackface is like you're making fun of the entire race, but he wasn't making fun of our race. He was making fun of one specific person. Black celebrity. And making fun of him, but imitating him.
Imitating him,
not even making fun of him, but just imitating him, showing how, he could do the voice perfectly and all that shit, And you have to think, too, that maybe back then we didn't freak out about that because we knew that it was just an imitation. So that's what that was going to my point of, like, do you think we're almost oversensitive today where it's just like, oh, black makeup, blackface, but where we're not even paying attention to context? Or...
I don't know anymore because I don't know if it's the fact that because social media wasn't a thing back then, everybody didn't have a voice. So the same amount of people might have been pissed off.
You think?
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if
probably.
Yeah, I don't know if the same amount of, if they had somewhere to go, like Twitter or Facebook, to express their rage, if it would be just as crazy as it would be now. You know what I mean? But I think it's definitely I think it's a combination of both, but I feel like it leans more towards people are more sensitive now.
Yeah. And especially in this time.
Yeah, people are just sensitive.
Yeah.
Period.
And like I said, and that's why I said we needed that Farrakhan type show today, where you get a bunch of races, especially black and white, because for some reason we just cannot get along. No. I mean, as a matter of fact, not some reason. Yeah, y'all fucked us up, but that's the reason. And still kind of fucking us up. Yeah. That's the reason. But we can't, where's the middle ground?
Bro. Okay, if we're talking about a pro-black person and a pro-white person, or a pro-person that I don't know why you're complaining. I won't call them pro-white, but let's just call them I don't know why you're complaining.
Yeah, like ignorant. Or white ignorance.
They can never, the ignorance. White ignorant. Bro, we can never find middle ground with them.
Yeah, but remember, going back to that show, it's like, we don't really have a platform to we need
to even have those conversations.
We need those people that you mentioned to sit down and have a conversation. We need to, and we need to see it. Yeah. Because here's the problem, is because we're all talking about each other, but we're not talking to each other.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my biggest problems with shows like The Daily Show and all that stuff. Even Republican,
it's all one-sided.
The Republican content, Republican news and all that stuff, it's talking to Republicans with people who already agree with that ideology.
Yeah.
So they're not learning anything. You're just regurgitating what they want to hear. It's the same with liberals, when you watch The Daily Show.
Everybody's only talking to the people.
They're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, they're already preaching to the choir. Yeah.
We're all preaching to the choir, but we're not talking to each other. So we're all making fun of each other. Liberals suck. They're snowflakes. Republicans suck. They're fucking mindless and racist. But none of us are actually speaking to each other. And then when we finally meet with each other, we're just screaming at each other.
Yeah, that's true.
And blaming each other.
Bro, so that Donahue, when Farrakhan was on Donahue show. Yeah. I found
that's what it was, Donahue.
The Donahue show. Mind you, bro, this Donahue guy, bro, he is a savage, bro.
Is he? What do you mean?
Bro, he did hosting so well. I found that was just a 15-minute clip that we watched, which actually in this episode, because I was thinking about doing it in the last episode, but it'd probably be better to do it in this episode because we're kind of talking about it. Yeah. But I'll add that 15-minute clip into this episode at the end. But that dude, Donahue, bro, even when he would be talking to his not fans, but his crowd, his audience members if they say something unintelligent, if you say something stupid, like one guy jumped up and was like, all of your, he referred to the Nation of Islam as all of your pets, pretty much. Bruh pulled the mic back and let him finish. He pulled the mic back and sunned him, like schooled him, like. He was like, your question, he said, you just made your question invalid because why would you refer to them as that?
Yeah.
He was like, they didn't refer to you as a dog. You know what I mean? Like, why do you feel like you can even refer to them? And that's he was like, you're literally the problem right now.
So who's today's Donahue then?
Bro, that dude, Donahue. Now, Donahue was kind of wild because this is something that Charlamagne was talking about in the most recent podcast, is that a conversation around cultural context needs to happen. Because he was saying what happened was in the 90s, the speed limit was 100 miles per hour for everybody. And we all agreed for a black, white, Asian, you can go 100 miles per hour. But then in the 2010s and our current times, the speed limit had dropped to 50 miles per hour. So you can't cancel somebody when they were doing the legal speed limit back then.
Yeah.
And now they're not even doing the legal. They're still doing the legal speed limit. They didn't drop their speed down.
Yeah.
And they're not on 100 no more. But you're trying to cancel them for a time that everybody was going 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, yeah.
And he
it's
was
like inflation or something.
Yeah, and just like inflation. And he was like, I feel like that's a conversation that needs to happen. Like, why are we even buying into these people that are, bro? Like those Donahue clips, bro. That white man in Donahue clip, I found the full version. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, damn. It's a part 1 and part 2. He says nigger and nigga. And
in what context though?
In the context of a real conversation, in the context of he's talking to Farrakhan, he says to Farrakhan, I understand that you would like to have your own separate region. If you're saying America can't provide black people with what they want, then give us a section of the America. Where would that section be? He was like, the problem with that is you're going to be in that section. Somebody's going to cross over their border. Somebody's going to be at the gas station at the wrong time of night. A nigger's going to fly, and somebody's going to get hurt.
That's what Donahue says?
Yes,
a nigger's going to fly?
Yes, yeah. A nigger's going to fly, bro. Like,
oh, shit.
Bro, like.
It's pretty intense.
Bro, like, when he's talking, bro, like, bro, when he's talking, I got to do research on this dude, Donahue, bro, because, bro, he's fearless, bro.
Yeah.
And apparently he was the liberal guy back then. Mind you, I don't know how long his show was on air, or I don't know nothing about him, like, besides the fact that, but just off the way that he's able to conduct himself with Farrakhan, because that's not an easy person to host a show with anyway. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not confident in how you speak. So I'm interested to see what other guests did he even have on this show. Like, if you can do this, if you can do a Farrakhan interview this well, or if you can do a Farrakhan open discussion this well, I can imagine the other people he might have had on there that like, you know what I mean? Like, what were those conversations like?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely interested in looking up, like, I'm going to send you the hour-long clip, though.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
It's literally just as intense as that 15-minute clip that we saw. Yeah. You're locked in from start to finish, bro.
I just think that, like, you'd think something like a platform like Revolt would do something like this, since they have the ability to do that. But every time you just have black folks talking to black folks, and it's like, that's great, but we need some platform to have, and we may need to do this shit, since we're so oversensitive these days, we may need to do this shit once a year to recuperate and be like, okay.
Low key, bro, we need
Are we doing better?
But we low key need to do it quarterly almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
We need to check in 4 times a year.
Do you think maybe it's sort of like America needs therapy? Maybe that's the problem. Like America itself needs therapy.
Yeah, that's true. And we need some sort of outlet that they're doing that on, I guess.
Yeah.
Which that would be that conversation-based TV show.
Yeah. Like we need that. We're an insane person on the streets that needs therapy, and they're just roaming free and slitting their wrists. And the
benefit with, now, mind you, I'm assuming that everything that I saw in this like hour, 15-minute video was aired on actual TV, because shit was just wild.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like uncensored?
Uncensored, I feel like. Because I
mean, the 90s
they were just airing
hard.
shit, bro. Because along with cultural context, Charlamagne brought up the example of Back to the Future. Biff was trying to rape Marty McFly's mom. Yeah. In a PG movie.
Yeah.
A PG rated movie. Like, he was like, I like that dress. Get in my front seat. It was literally trying to rape her. Like,
yeah. I mean, you could go even further. Like, in a PG movie, like, there was like an incest joke throughout the entire movie. Like, the mother is trying to get with her son. but doesn't know it's her son. But.
Yeah, and what was it? Revenge of the Nerds? Not Revenge of the... Was it Revenge of the Nerds? Bro, there was a whole, like, rape scene. It was not rape, but it was a whole illusion. This girl thought in Revenge of the Nerds she was having sex with somebody else, but it was one of the nerds. So we're talking about, like, a whole switcheroo. Like, you think you're you're consenting to have sex with somebody else, and somebody else climbs on top of you, but you just think it's them.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're
so it's like, I may have heard of that because they were saying, like, it's a rape scene or something, basically, in today's context.
In today's context, that is a full-blown rape scene.
Yeah, like, or Porky's, where they're, like, looking through a hole and watching, like, these...
Peeping Toms and stuff like that. Like,
it was sort of like...
Yeah, it was cheered on almost. Yeah,
yeah.
Bro, that shit is not flying now. That shit is not flying, but it's crazy that like we're canceling people from shit 10 years ago,
and that was the norm back then. You know,
and that was the norm. Yeah, and that's how you know America was fucked up and why we need our own.
I still need that. That therapy, like Donahue. You know, so with the Jimmy Fallon one, it was just like, okay, that's still on the I put that into the category of gray area, where it's sort of like he's doing an impression of a specific black, and I know his intent wasn't to make fun of all black, he's like Jimmy Fallon. Like, I mean, I don't know him personally, but you could, like, he's not gonna be like go up there to racist.
You gotta be pretty bold to just jump out the box with be like, I'm about to just kill all black people with this next sketch. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta double down on that on a regular basis normally.
Yeah. Now the next Jimmy Kimmel is a little, like I was saying, like Jimmy Fallon is more in the gray area. I would say Jimmy is closer to one of the sides of I'm not sure, because his was more like he did it of a basketball player. Because I guess he could do a basketball player's voice well.
It was Lamar Odom or something like. I feel like it was Lamar Odom or.
Damn it, man! It's one of those.
I heard it
because
though.
I'm not a sports person.
Yeah,
but
me neither.
like,
I know what you're talking about though.
If I heard his name, I would be like, yeah.
But he was pretty much talking just like him.
He had his bald head.
Yeah,
the skin and all that stuff.
I heard the audio. I didn't see the video.
Okay, yeah, and he was doing the voice and all that stuff. And like I said, he's doing a specific imitation of a black celebrity, one black celebrity, and I'm sure that it wasn't the intent of like making fun of all black people. However, on a podcast, there was word of him. Oh no, he did a song in the 90s, like a Christmas album, and he was imitating Snoop Dogg, and he said nigga a lot in that. And that's when I was
doing
like,
a song or something.
Yeah.
That was a little tricky right there.
Yeah. I was just like, okay, these are muddy waters here. I can't defend that. Maybe the blackface, I could just be like, well, it's
true.
It's sort of like the Tropic Thunder thing with Robert Downey Jr. as the black guy.
Yep, Tropic Thunder.
I'm like,
which I still haven't seen.
Oh, you haven't seen?
That always comes up. Yeah.
But that's in the category of where I'm just like, oh no, that is satire. That is like, complete satire. But with the Jimmy Kimmel one, is just like, I don't know. The blackface I would have let slide just because it's like, okay, that's just his imitation of that particular whatever. But the saying nigga in the Christmas song, like, I can't help you there.
Yeah, it was like, you're on your own, my G.
Yeah, you're on your own with that one, because like that is a line where it's just like, okay, you better be careful with that word. Like how you're using it and shit, because it's hard to misconstrue that.
Yeah.
It's just like, but
I think
that was three. I think that was the only three with blackface, actually.
Yeah. So, and then the last person that I know that I got, bro, like we were talking about in the last episode with Johnny's Pizza. I don't even know what the fuck cancel means anymore. Anyway, like nobody know what that means. It's so
nobody
subjective.
Knows what anything means anymore.
Yeah, bro, it's so confusing. But B. Simone got canceled again, I guess.
Oh, really?
I mean,
again,
again, like that's the thing that's kind of funny to me is that like y'all will cancel somebody, but then if they do something else, you'll get canceled again. But I thought you was canceled already.
So
I never cancel a reservation more than once. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, it's all, like, are we all like streaming services or something? Like just like cancel subscriptions or something? Like,
it's like
you're canceled.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means. I don't really know what cancel means anymore. But
nobody knows.
Let's just say that instead of saying the word cancel, let's say B. Simone was in hot water again.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right, so B. Simone has apparently been racking it up she's been pissing people off during the quarantine time period. So now I'm not familiar at all with, so I might butcher this information, but I'm not familiar at all with the first thing that happened. But long story short, I think she said something about how rioting isn't the answer, But during the time that people were rioting, nobody was trying to hear that shit.
Yeah.
So she got canceled for that. Because she was saying protesting is the answer, but rioting isn't. I think that was pretty much to sum it up. They canceled her for that. Next time they canceled, or whatever controversy, she said that she doesn't want to date a guy that works a 9 to 5. She wants to date an entrepreneur.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I heard that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's because because a 9 to 5 guy won't understand why she's on her phone sending emails at 3 a.m.
Like he won't understand the lifestyle.
The lifestyle, yeah. So
totally
that was the next thing and I think it was the way that she said it. I don't even think it was because what she said. There's nothing wrong with what she said, but I guess it was the way she said it. The 9 to 5 niggas felt attacked, I guess. So, and I guess I don't know. Maybe her delivery. I think once people don't like you, everything you say, the delivery's bad.
Yep.
So that's really what it is.
Honestly, that contributes to it.
Yeah, her delivery might have been completely normal, but it's like once people don't like you, you're never going to say anything correctly. You know what I mean?
Hey, I just saved a box of kittens today and donated all of them. Oh, you canceled.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think it was one of those situations. Yeah. Whatever. I didn't really care about either of those two things. Mm-hmm. Now, this one, most recent one, I saw the whole thing. I heard the whole thing. I mean, it's pretty explainable. Okay. She pretty much going at like the transgender community. So it started off with, I don't know. Okay, Horrible Decisions podcast. The clip is all over Twitter. Horrible Decisions podcast, Mandy and Wheezy. And I guess Wheezy was talking about something about trying to find local dick or find local dudes. I don't know what the fuck the conversation was. But long story short, it was about finding local guys in the area, maybe on a dating site like Swiping Right. Yeah. And so she said a series of, she's pretty much like what she said word for word. She said, oh no, you can't do that in Atlanta. I might swipe up on a tranny. And then, so that was the first shot. Let's just break down the shots. Yeah. It might swipe up on the tranny. That was the first shot, using the word tranny. Yeah. I know tranny's fun, offensive. I do listen to comedians that say it, but the jokes are funny. That's the biggest difference. If you can say offensive things, it just has to be funny. Yeah. That's the only thing about comedy. Like, and that's what most people were leaning back on with comedy and comedians. I didn't notice it until Schultz said it. If you make an offensive joke and it's not funny, you're done. Yeah. You got to take that heat. If you make an offensive joke but it's funny, it's just a funny joke and you're a comedian. Yeah. But once it's not funny, you're not a comedian anymore. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing with race jokes and offensive jokes. Yeah. It's got to be funny.
And gender jokes.
Gender jokes.
Schultz like made some funny ass
sensitive topics. You know what I mean? Like if your joke don't land, it looks bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Her jokes were not landing. Yeah. So she said the tranny thing, one, might swipe up on tranny. Number two, she said Atlanta's a mess. That's also kind of crazy to say.
Damn.
This is fresh off the tranny convo. Yeah. Fresh off the tranny comment.
After all the comments about like the 9 to 5 dudes and all that stuff?
Yeah, we're talking about this is a whole new instance that just happened a couple days ago.
Okay. Yeah.
So she started with, I might swipe up on a tranny. Then she said, yes, girl. Atlanta's a mess right now. And then she says, I mean, no, like, I don't have anything wrong with the LGBT, the lettuce, bacon, and tomato, like.
She had like for all the acronyms or something?
Not all of them, but a couple of them. She said lettuce, bacon, tomato, shit like that. Like for the LGBT. So that was another poorly landed joke. Another poorly landed joke. The delivery was trash. Yeah. And
we're only laughing right now because of the fact that it's, she didn't land the joke.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like, it was that. And then right after that, she said, she doubled down again and she said, some of my best friends are tranny. And I was like, damn, that's another shot. Like, that's number 4.
I'm not racist. Some of my friends are niggers.
Yeah, bro. It's like, it is funny. I don't know, bro. It's like, the fact that the joke didn't land, that's why it was so hot for her. Mm. Oh, yeah. She also got canceled or controversy again because some book she wrote, she didn't even write the book word for word. Apparently, she paid some company. So this isn't really her fault. It just didn't look bad coming off of you already had like 2 canceled moments. So now it looks like anything you do, niggas is just ready to shoot at you. Yeah. And she sold some book, and the book was like terrible quality. Like, it was plagiarized. That was the biggest problem with it. So it was like a court case, and it's like a court case in this as well because there's like entire pages of the book copyright plagiarized from some other girl's work that was online.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but apparently, I mean, she didn't copy and paste that work. Like, apparently, she outsourced the book writing to a company, and they plagiarized it pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that makes sense too. You know what I mean? Whereas it's not directly her fault. Like, you know what I mean? But it's her name on the book, so obviously it's gonna come back to her.
Yeah.
And then the book was terrible quality too. Like it was like a ghetto. It looked like it was called a book, but it looked like a ghetto trash put together magazine. Like the inside of the book was sliding away from the cover type of energy. Like shitty ass book put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, all that, and then now this whole tranny thing on the Horrible Decisions podcast, and it's crazy.
And it's one of those things. It's just like, look, I can't help you. Like,
on this one, it's like. But you gotta take that L, bro. Yeah. None of your jokes landed. Like literally, not one.
And
joke.
that's what she was doing. She was trying to joke. Like that's what it was.
Well, she's a comedian. To be fair,
okay.
she's a comedian. She does stand up.
That's true.
So I'm assuming
I wasn't sure if it was just on this platform. She was just speaking.
No, yeah. She was a comedian. Once she said the lettuce bacon things, I was like, oh, maybe this is all a joke. It's just terrible ass punchlines. Like the punchlines are trash. So
it just sounds like straight up just insults.
Yeah, it just sounds like insults rolling off. You know what I mean? So it's like niggas is really trying to like take her head off and shit. But it's like, I mean, this is the thing. This is what I've noticed. Everybody who's ever had terrible publicity moments, you can get people to forget that you did something crazy if you drop good content right after it.
Yeah.
Like Drake, if something happens with Drake, he drops a record. Literally, he does that shit like clockwork. You may think it's whack, but the song goes #1 and niggas stop talking about whatever the thing was. Yeah, like
he lost. Who killed him in that battle?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, well, bro, when you drop whatever your skill is, whatever that you do, if you have controversy come out and then you drop your content or whatever you're good at right after, bro, that's how you wash that shit away. She's just been racking shit up and hasn't had any real viral moments happen.
Yeah.
Like of quality content, like the things that people like her for.
Yeah.
So now it's like all the last couple things that we see is just niggas killing you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and by the way, that picture of Drake like this, that's blackface.
That is blackface.
But he's black. He's half black anyway. And the context is like he was doing something like some kind of
artistic to where, yeah.
It was like but what I'm saying is that is blackface. Like making fun of black people and all that stuff. But so it was just B Simone and who else?
That was it, I think.
That was it?
That was the only one that I knew. Yeah.
And the only other one was just Chris D'Elia, I think.
He had some rape allegations, right?
Yeah.
Or was it a Me Too situation?
Another actor, too, like got rape allegations. And this other YouTuber got rape allegations. These rape allegations, this is the new trend. I mean, not trend, but I mean, like right now, after a black man dying from it's like you were saying, clockwork, right?
Yeah.
You know, innocent black people dying from a cop, or maybe I should say innocent, but unarmed, dying from a police officer. Then the next wave is always all these sexual allegations and people having to come out and make clear their name and shit. So that. This past week, that's been coming out. Chris D'Elia, I don't know if he's come out and said anything, but right now Schultz and a lot of other people
going in on him
because he's a comedian, so other comedians are talking about it.
But you know what's crazy about that dude, Chris D'Elia, is like, I don't know, bro. He's pretty wild every time I see him on camera. So the allegation coming up for him, I'd be like,
the allegation
doesn't seem too crazy to me. Like,
it's basically they're saying like. This girl came out saying like he was like talking to her and she was 17 or something like that. She was just turning 17, so which means she was 16 at the time. And of course here that is illegal.
Yeah.
Schultz was just making fun of it, just saying just the fact that I guess like some male celebrities they have like they only deal with like women who are like from 18 to 22.
Really?
Yeah, I guess like I don't know. Maybe Schultz was just joking about it.
Oh yeah,
but he was saying like a lot of older like celebrities, guy celebrities. Like for some reason they like girls like when they just like barely legal or just legal when they just turned 18. He was like he's probably one of those.
He might be, bro, and that makes sense, bro. That's what dudes in power like. It seems like really rich, powerful, at least white people. At least I mean we haven't really seen too many black cases of like super powerful black people like getting caught up with young underage women.
Yeah, except R. Kelly. But
he's literally our only case. Like black celebrities but white celebrities, like there's always rumors around them saying they like underage girls and they go to other countries and shit like that. But that's that power thing, bro, where they just like, bro, because an 18 to 21 22-year-old girl, bro, that's still a high schooler. Like that's when we're talking about like mind state, like you can say you have a car. Like it doesn't matter what kind of car it is. Like certain shit's gonna impress them. Yeah. And you'll probably get some pussy. You're rich and famous. Yeah, you're definitely gonna get easy pussy off them.
Yeah, they still do have that mindset of just like, oh, you're older.
Yeah, like, you have money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that immature.
Yeah, just immature. And
you
it's like
feel, especially the older you get, the more you can feel it.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
and
the different.
Even I'm 29 now, and it's like I couldn't wrap my mind around dating a chick that's younger than 25.
Yeah,
like
every time I get older, I push the numbers at least 3 years back.
Yeah,
at least 3 years back.
Yeah.
So for me, 36, 35, 34, like 33.
Yeah,
that's the youngest I would go.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, because even when I did turn 21, 18 was too young for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I don't really with that shit. Like, it's just, I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. Like, dealing with a high schooler, like, mind you, I'm still immature, and I'm sure the girls that I'm dealing with at 21 are still immature. But it's still a different level of immature, like, from 21 to 18. You know what I mean?
Remember,
like,
we've said it many times, and I'll always say it, but, like, the human brain doesn't develop until, like, late 20s, 25, 26.
Yeah, so.
Something like that. So you're essentially just dealing with a person. Who's that? I knew that was Leon. Hey, what's up, man?
Leon's in the building.
Still dealing with someone whose brain hasn't fully developed, So that's why they could fall for certain things.
And that's that prey thing. It's like legally being able to prey on somebody, but like.
So maybe like when celebrity-wise, when you become that celebrity and you have fame and you have all that, then it's like, oh, these, younger girls, like they don't know anything and all that stuff,
Yep.
But, it comes back.
Right. Came back bitch on the ass. Now you got to deal with a Me Too situation. Won't be me.
And then remember, like I said, like I always try to weigh the pros and cons. I try to weigh for all of that. Me personally, I don't rely on one thing that somebody says. Like the one side.
The one side
to me, that's not how justice is supposed to work. You're supposed to hear both sides.
When's the last time you seen somebody who was actually innocent before proven guilty? Social media is giving these niggas guilty verdicts off the rip.
Because going back to like they say, Twitter is the people's court. What they say is what the judgment is. It doesn't matter when the files come in. Oh, you've been attacked for being gay by black MAGA hat wearing people. It's like, it must be true.
It's got to be true
for
now.
Juicy.
Justice for Juicy.
I never forget that because I just feel like that was just like I thought that was a learning curve for all of us to like slow down a little bit with assuming something is true before finding out if it is actually true.
True.
So that's what I try to do for now on. So with D'Elia, it's just like, no, I want to hear what he said because there are some people where I heard what the girl had to say. And then I'm like, okay, let me wait for his what he's gonna say. And then I hear his, and it doesn't sound convincing. And I'm like, yeah, she's probably right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But you have to hear the other
I'm
side.
trying to hear. I need to hear your. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
bro. Some people's responses, you be like, God damn, bro, you should have never said anything.
It's like I didn't know, Or
I didn't know she was 17. Yeah. God damn it, don't admit it to everybody. You're supposed to do this in court, bro.
He's like it didn't happen, but if it did, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they be having some weird ass responses sometimes, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, but we'll wait to hear whatever.
Yeah, I'm glad I
saw him live in 2017.
For real?
Yeah, downtown.
I think Schultz is coming to Raleigh, so those tickets will be acquired very soon, probably tonight or tomorrow, because I will not miss that. Because I know there's already
sure about what's happening. Like now,
I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk. I don't give a fuck. I'm down to see
No,
Schultz.
I mean it's still going on. Like
yeah. I guess
shit
is. I don't know what the hell is going on with the coronavirus. All right.
That's
we're in
true.
North Carolina for the people who don't or listen to this outside of North Carolina, but they just doubled back, so now we're required to wear masks.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was like that the whole time. You know what I mean? There's certain things that have been changing, and I thought they were already in place, and people are losing their goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Because apparently the masks are killing people. Honestly,
wait, what?
Look, I don't know, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But when I've seen these people talking in these public forums, they're going in. You want us to wear masks that are killing us? You're taking away my amendment. You're taking away my freedom of something. I don't fucking know, bro.
The Constitution.
Yeah, I don't know. Something with the Constitution, bro. All I know is that the governor said we have to wear a mask still for the next 3 weeks. And people are losing their fucking minds. And honestly, I just don't understand why they're losing their minds, because I thought we were already on mask energy for the last 2 months.
So this has to be it has to be a bunch of people who I guess were delusioned into thinking that, I guess it's all over.
Yeah, maybe it's them. I don't know. I know the conservatives ain't with that shit though.
Yeah.
The conservatives, they want to live however the fuck they want to live. And if you say they can't do that, bro, they lose their goddamn mind, bro. Yeah. That's pretty much what I'm realizing the conservatives are doing. Like, especially if it's some shit that like Trump is co-signing, they're like, this is what we do. Yeah. You can't tell me shit just because I'm in your state. You know what I mean?
Tell me nothing. Sound like his buddy. His buddy Kanye.
Look the way I get my
I was like,
money,
that's why he liked him. They have the same mindset. You can't tell me nothing.
Pretty much, bro. So yeah, I don't know, man.
No, so like the information that I recently received about the coronavirus is, let's start in New Zealand.
Okay.
In early June, New Zealand was completely 100% COVID-19 free.
Oh, shit.
They beat it. This is early June, right? So this is like June 8th.
Okay.
The Prime Minister of New Zealand came out and announced that, they haven't had a new case since May 22nd.
Damn.
And what they did is they had a plan. They had a plan to basically... in March, like when all the other countries, of course, they had like I guess a heads up of what was going on before it reached them.
Yeah.
So what they did,
just like we did, but we just didn't. We didn't take heed.
Like, what is this COVID? What is it? A new car?
Take heed of. Take headed of. You remember that from The Office?
Yeah.
I've been trying to find that clip and put it in there.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're taking heed of this right now.
My frustration as safety officer when nobody would heed of what heeded of when no one headed.
Take headed of.
No one would take headed of my instructions. So
you take heed
and
of.
I don't see my coworkers
take heed of.
Heeding this right now.
Yeah. So what it was is like in March, when they saw like shit was going on, in March they did like a huge shutdown. They did essentially the same thing.
Leon.
Yeah, you want some? Oh, shit. He's like, I'm already wasted on it.
Yeah, you gotta get. Yeah, it don't really matter here.
Yeah. Who the hell was that?
But
yeah, so New Zealand, they did a massive lockdown in March. They shut down all the businesses and transits and all that stuff. But then they had this strategy where it's just like, okay, this is like strategy 4. Right now, this is part 4. We're gonna try this. And then, okay, if things get better, we're gonna try number 3. Mm-hmm. Try number 2. Mm-hmm. And then they said like by May they couldn't even get to 1 because there were like
phases.
Phases. Yeah. By the time they even got to 1, they couldn't even like administrate that because it was like, oh, there haven't been cases in like since the 22nd. So then they made the announcement, or the Prime Minister made the announcement, we're COVID free. Now that was early June. All right, so.
Doesn't it feel like they would just lock their borders off to everybody then?
They did. Yeah, there was no flying in. There was no flying out. It was just like they just locked out shit, stay in your homes and all that stuff. They did that, and then apparently that shit went away. Maybe there weren't that much cases to begin with, maybe. But
possibly, yeah.
But yeah, so they conquered that shit, and then in like June, like later June, I would say like June 23rd or something, they had 2 cases. It was imports, so it was 2 women from the UK that came in, and they apparently had COVID because they were visiting an AL family member or something.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so they came there for that. But then I think they just they said that, but right now we never thought that we would just get completely rid of it.
Yeah, that's
but we
crazy.
knew how to. We knew how to control it now, So we had to just contain those people and make sure that they stayed at home and all stuff and don't spread it to everybody. So it seems like they're just going about it like very smart,
Yeah.
Here now, it's kind of hard to do that. We were on the verge of doing that, like all of us staying home and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then everything stopped.
But then somebody got killed with their knee on their neck.
Yeah.
You know, like, with cops' knee on their neck. And then I think that shifted everything.
It did because, bruh, during the protesting, the heat of the protesting and rioting, bro, they literally didn't mention a thing about no COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was
and they were trying, though. Just like, remember COVID? Remember?
Yeah.
Remember?
So it was like, we all kind of had to take that L. Like, America broke that COVID social distancing because they was like, bruh, even though it's a pandemic, we got to get out here for this shit because this is crazy. That was kind of what happened.
Yeah.
But now things are being locked back down. I think Texas is getting locked back down.
Yeah. There is so much. The reason why I hate all of this is because there's so much. There's not just information, but there's so much misinformation. There's so much confusion about it. Like,
bruh, don't really know about nothing about COVID,
bro. If you ask 3 doctors about COVID, you're gonna get 3 different answers.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah, it
you know.
is. Yeah.
And I just saw something on Instagram that somebody recently posted. So this is like, I guess, breaking, but I don't know if it's on the news.
Yeah.
It's just like a
gotcha,
post.
Gotcha. Yeah,
but yeah, they say investigation reveals Trump knowingly allowed flawed COVID-19 antibody tests to circulate, leading to inaccurate data about the virus spread, creating data to support reopening and potentially causing thousands more preventable deaths and all that shit. So then you have that. Federal officers allowed distribution of COVID-19 antibody tests after they knew many were flawed. So a lot of people are getting tested, but they're probably getting misdiagnosed because the tests aren't 100% accurate.
And they're incentivizing COVID positive cases or COVID cases.
Yeah, so when people are getting scared and hearing like, we have 900 COVID cases today, but it's just like, well, yeah, but how many of them are legit though?
Bro, it's just so crazy that like a pandemic, like because what was the department that is supposed to be the ones that are even like, when a pandemic happens, this is the department that we run to. The government
FDA?
Not the FDA, but like the government runs to this department. I can't remember what they called it, but Trump pretty much neutralized it, like took the department away. And then a pandemic hit, thinking he wasn't going to need it. And then, bro, it just showed, bro, we were so unprepared for anything to happen, bro. Like,
and then now, like I said, with the injustice stuff happening, then it's like it's just chaos because then and to their credit, to people's credit of like people who are saying like it's not that serious and all that stuff, to their credit, I can't say that I wasn't like at least a little on their side to a point because I was like, every time a situation like this happens, and I don't know if it's the conspiracy nigga in me, but like every time something happens, I'm always like, what's the government up to? So, like, what is what is the real deal? Is there actually no virus going around and they're just like fucking with us and making us think that there is a virus and it's just actually the flu out there? Just to control us, to keep us inside and keep tabs on us and shit.
Bro, and like, I'm not to the point where I don't think COVID is a real thing at all, but I'm definitely to the point where it's like, there's so much misinformation about COVID. I'm at the fuck it point because I don't know what to believe anyway. Like, it doesn't matter
so much confusion.
It doesn't matter what channel I get it from, whether I get it from Fox, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, BBC America. All of y'all gonna tell me something different anyway. Yeah. And then add the internet on top of that. It's like,
so you have information that's saying like everybody needs to wear masks, but then you have other information that says asymptomatic people are no longer an issue. Like, so if you asymptomatic, so you don't have no symptoms and shit.
I heard about that.
So then like, okay, well then technically if you don't feel ill, chances are you don't have it. And you can't, and you can't spread it. So then I'm like, okay, well then there's that information. So then who the fuck is telling the truth?
Exactly. It's the worst, bro. Like,
seeing people, and
I just wanted to end just because don't nobody know what's going on anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, but like our system probably likes the chaos. I don't know.
I either want it to end or I want them to just fully commit to one decision. Yeah. Locking us down or opening shit back up. If you're strong enough to survive it, you survive. If you die, you die. It's just, we're going to do it's survival of the fittest at this point. Like, you got to commit to something. Stop opening shit and then reclosing it and then reopening it back again.
Pushing movies back. It's like, it's coming out in June. Let's push it back to August. Let's
make a decision, double down on it. Cut more stimulus checks because the main people that are bitching the shit to open back up are the people who are not getting any money because they're not getting a paycheck. So cut another stimulus check if you're going to keep a hard lockdown,
Yeah.
then call it a day, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't think it's that hard to stick with a decision. And honestly, the easier decision to stick with is the safe route. Whether it be the route that you might not want us to go, it's the safe route of just keeping things closed and cutting stimulus checks. You know what I mean?
And just wise leadership and strategy, because, like I said, New
At
Zealand
least tell us a strategy. Yeah.
New Zealand got rid of that shit in a matter of months because
Yeah.
of the strategy that they had. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Oh shit, it's working, and
Yeah.
oh, we did it. And then now, yeah, we're probably gonna have cases here and there, but we know how to manage it now. You know, but it's just with us. It was just pandemonium. Like, hey,
every country had a plan except us. We were just out here like.
So then that's why we're all dealing with it in different ways. Some people are just like, okay, I'm gonna wear a mask. Some people, I'm not gonna wear a mask. Some others are I'm gonna wear a mask too much. So that's the other part that's been bothering me. Is just seeing people walking on a street by themselves in 95-degree weather with their mask on their face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not surrounded by anybody.
That I don't get that either, bro. Every time I see somebody walking by themselves completely, or with their spouse, the person they're clearly with, why do y'all wear a mask? Ain't nobody around you.
There's nobody around because it's like, you know, it's like if nobody is around you, like the shit is not airborne. You know, it's not an airborne virus.
It's not, yeah. And
it's you know, you contract it from people.
It's semi-airborne, but you have to be within 6 feet of somebody.
Yeah, it's airborne. If somebody sneezes or something like that, that shit travels.
Exactly,
but by the time it got to you, if you're 6 feet apart or all that stuff,
bro,
like,
people are literally walking around. But the crazy thing is, I went out today and I saw quite a few people with no mask on. So it's like, so it's
people
like,
are just dealing with it in their own ways.
Yeah,
and that's because we don't have good leadership, really. Like,
I wonder if black people are catching charges for it, because now that the governor said you have to wear a mask, like that's mandatory. I wonder if we see rises in black people getting arrested because they're not wearing a mask. You know, I saw a lot of white people not wearing masks. To be fair, today, a lot of white people.
Actually, somebody on Instagram just posted a picture saying that, I guess, I don't know if it was her partner or whatever, but the black man that she was with, they saw an old white man calling the cops on the black man for not wearing a mask. And the person was like, yeah, but I saw like tons of white people not wearing a mask too. So why are they calling the cops just on the black one?
Exactly.
You know? So it's like an excuse for people to be racist for no reason.
Yeah. It's giving them another window, low key. So it's like the black people that are listening to this, if you're in North Carolina, this is North Carolina specific. Don't know what your state is doing. If you're not in North Carolina, governor said that shit is mandatory when you're going in public now. Don't even play with them because they know they trying to call the police on us for no reason anyway. So
it's so confusing, man, because it's like every information that comes out, it always sounds like something they want us to do from now on as opposed to do for right now. It does nothing. True. Nothing sounds temporary to me.
No. It's all permanent moves. It seems like
custom-made masks, and businesses are setting up out of this, and I'm just like, are we setting this up to be like a new normal, or are we trying to like, okay, we're gonna do this for a certain amount of time?
Work past this, yeah.
They're not even giving us a time frame,
no,
of when to do all of this shit. It's just like, it's crazy do this.
It's so crazy that they just don't know. And you know what's crazy is that, like, I'm assuming, and this is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's just like the movies. A pandemic hits. You get all the most brightest and brilliant minds that deal with diseases studying, and you got different teams of disease, because I'm sure you can gather a list of 15 to 20 people or 100 people, maybe the top minds in disease population or disease whatever, and they're working around the clock. That's what I'm assuming it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would assume we're getting information from people like that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of crazy that, like, this many months in, nobody's on the same page still when it comes to the coronavirus.
Yeah, like this shit has been going on since February, and we're still no further away from it than we was. Yeah, and then we're gloating about this. So there's gonna be a second wave, in the winter and all that stuff. And I'm just like, why though? Like, is this a tide of water? Like,
you haven't even told me why the first wave is here yet. And
So now there's a second wave coming, and New Zealand is doing pretty fine. Like, how come they could get shit that other countries can get their shit together and we can't? Like, I just don't understand, man.
We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world too.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's crazy.
Whatever.
I guess the last thing that we could do that needs to be kind of talked about, but I mean, this is just something that we deal with. Another example, so it's not just one bad apple. Another example of police officers who hate black people. Three Wilmington NC officers fired over racist rant caught on body cam. And they're pretty much talking about how they was going to kill niggas and shit like that. and these 3 Wilmington, North Carolina, 2 hours away from where we're at in Raleigh. So this is why black people have a level of anxiety and paranoia that you will never understand. Because you're white, you don't have to worry about if the police officer that pulled you over on a broken tail light, something as simple as that, being a Klans member and doing everything within his cop rights to kill you legally because he already hates niggas anyway.
Yeah.
Like, this is what black people deal with. Like, you don't deal with this if you're not black. There's police officers. Bro, every time I see something like this, it brings me back to that clip where you were talking about how we don't know who Klan members are.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like that they're not included but not limited to are judges, lawyers, doctors, police officers, politicians. We don't fucking know who hates niggas.
They're like the mutants in X-Men, man. Like, or like when they're not, some of them look like us. Some of them look like people, you know? Like, until we see them use their power, which in this case is racism.
Yeah,
you know, we have no idea who they are.
And it's almost always too late when we find out that's their superpower. Like, if I'm getting pulled over,
already killing somebody.
Yeah, if I'm getting pulled over, I'm already getting my ass beat for not wearing my seatbelt.
Oh, that must be a mutant.
Yeah, when he should have just wrote me a ticket, told me to put my seatbelt on, and I've been on my way. So, you know, this is just something that, you know, if you're wondering why we say Black Lives Matter, it's because the police, the people that you don't worry about ever, three more bad apples, because y'all just saying there's one.
Bad apples.
3 more bad apples just got caught talking about how much they like killing niggas and want to kill niggas and their police officers.
And you really think it's just 3?
That's what I'm saying. Come on, bro.
In the entire, you know, department?
Actually, you know what? That makes me, before we go, because we're about to go, it makes me think about that white guy that was a police officer in New York. And he was like, I'm honored to wear this badge.
Oh, really? I didn't
Did you see that?
No.
But that shit was funny as hell. He was mad because we were disgracing the police for weeks on end. And he was like, he put up some number like this many million positive encounters with the police. So, nigga, what's the number on negative encounters? This should be none. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck how many positive encounters you got. We got videos of you killing people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't care how many positive. He was like, I'm honored to wear this badge. I'm sick of this police shaming. Making us feel like we're not good at our jobs. No, y'all suck at your jobs, bro. You don't have enough training. You were never put in a position where you were even able to be good at your job. That's the main problem.
Yeah.
You were already set up for failure, bro. Don't be talking about police pride and you know you're undertrained as well. You know you're undertrained, bro. Cut that shit out.
And even if you are the most holy cop doing everything right and all your intentions are good, like, it's still, well, you got to check your peers. You know, you got to check the ones who are not good. I mean, you have I'm pretty sure, like, white cops, you trying to tell me that they don't, you know, end up talking to these cops who are racist, you know, and just be like, oh, that's just Bob.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's on that level of casualness.
Yeah, because, you know, white people, and then you have to take into account that white people are so used to casual racism, like, you know, because they hear their uncles being racist and all that stuff. It's like, oh, that's Uncle
just
Joe.
What grandma does.
Yeah, they're
Uncle
racist, you know? But they don't know the harmful results of it.
They just think it's their grandma, and they don't realize that the police is these people.
Yeah.
Yo, and then I saw there's one tweet. I guess this will be for real. The last thing I saw, and then
for real.
Last thing. So the last thing was I saw this joint, and it said, if the police actually did their job, we wouldn't hate them. You never heard of no song about a fireman talking about fuck the police. There's never been a song about firemen saying fuck the firefighters.
Yeah,
because they always do their job.
Yeah.
And when I really think about it, I've never heard a story of a firefighter like not willing to go into a burning building to save somebody, no matter what color
because
they
they're
were.
Black. Yeah.
Yeah, like
they're black. I ain't going in there.
Bro, but firefighter training, bro, that shit is intense, bro. That shit is not like firefighters have a dangerous ass job, bro. Their job, like, that's one field where the people who go into that field, they understand that I'm putting my life in extreme jeopardy to go into this job. Like, they actually understand that. I feel like some people get into police work and they move the way they move now. We're like, I ain't about to die as no police officer. No, you should think you're about to die as a police officer.
Does it take longer to become a fireman than a police officer?
I don't know, but
Okay,
I do
we'll look
know.
into that.
Yeah, we got to look into that.
Because if that's the case, then it's like
that'd be interesting to see. Yeah,
yeah, because then it's just like, okay, well, I have these racial motives. It doesn't take that much for me to become a police officer versus like if you're racist and you become a fireman just to be racist, that would just be stupid because you're wasting a lot of time to like and
bro,
dedication.
And think about the people that you're with. Like I don't feel like firefighters would even stand that shit. Like if you're in the middle of battling a fire, which I can't imagine what that is like firefighters will literally walk into a burning fucking building knowing that shit can collapse in any moment and they might have 60 to 2 minutes left, but there's 2 more people that they need to save. Like they'll do that. Like firefighters are built different. You know what I'm saying? Like these people are literally willing to put their lives on the line to save people. Like, and police officers do not have that same sentiment.
Even though on their car it says to serve and protect.
They're supposed to though. They're supposed to though. Like, but I've never even talked or even heard an interview from a police officer, bro. Like the firefighters that I know, bro, they're about that life, bro. They're about putting their life on the line to save somebody. Like, and then the people that I do know that are firefighters, like some of the most solid people that I've ever met in our life, like in my life, like my homegirl Becca, like easily like Ben Lawrence homie from childhood, like, and then I met through him, but like literally been solid since day one that I met her, and she's a firefighter, and I know like if the building's on fire, but she thinks she can get them, she's gonna go get them. You know what I mean? Like, and same with my other boy, his sister's husband, so like his brother-in-law. He's about that life. You know what I'm saying? Like
the actual heroes, man.
Yeah, bro.
Actual
like
superheroes with a suit and everything.
Yeah,
red,
like these people are about that life. They're like, if somebody's
slide down a pole like Batman.
What?
Damn, I never even thought about it. It's like firemen are actually superheroes.
They're superheroes, bro. They are down to put their life on the line to save you, bro.
Yeah.
And then of course the whole 9/11, all the firefighters that before the building even collapsed, they were still going in, knowing it was going to collapse at some point. Some of them being trapped for days trying to save people. You know what I mean? Like, shit's crazy. But that's it, yo. That's the 3 Oak Podcast episode for this week. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe on everything. Make sure if y'all listen to Choice FM, if you hear You Say That You Love Me on there, make sure y'all record it and tag me in it, yo, so we can post it. Because it's crazy, yo. Choice FM has been spinning this shit, it looked like for about a week straight. So we thank y'all so much. We're going to drop that little care package off to y'all. Make sure y'all fresh to death over there with the Menace Material merch. And yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Everything to 3 Oak Podcast. Peace. Boom. Oh, shit.
You just watched we could start over if you'd like.
Hey!
You just watched the 3 Oak Podcast instead of listening to it.
You just watched the 3 Oak Podcast. Okay.
Thank you for watching the 3 Oak Podcast.
Subscribe.
Listen to that guy.